Last time on the F1 Speed League, Mike Knight took his second victory of the season at the GP Bahrain, beating Shy Guy and Shimek to the podium positions. There was some fantastic racing and some very interesting strategy. All the drivers coming in for just one stop during the race, but Mike Knight won it at the end by over 10 seconds. Now we move on to the first ever race at the Valencia street circuit. Drivers will fight for supremacy between the close walls and the high curbs. Highlights are coming up next on Sliders TV. Hello and welcome to highlights of race 3 from the 9th season of the F1 Speed League, the GP Hiszpanii, live from the Valencia street circuit. It's going to be a fantastic race, the first ever race at the street circuit in Valencia, 43 laps, and it should be really interesting. We've got some high curbs which could really play a part, and strategy should be interesting too after the reasonably boring strategy last week in Bahrain. You can see here's winners of the previous Spanish Grand Prix. Bell has done pretty well, and Doman also running the circuit in Barcelona before, and of course Perez in season 3. Qualifying 1 went pretty well. Lance took the fastest time, and the guys to go out were Salus, Arsen, Arjun, Balbanek in the Force India, Popovic, Klikoi, Sebol in the Ferrari, that's a disappointment, and Simza, who was massively off the pace in 16th place. And Q2, Wackinger got a surprising pole for the McLaren team, and the two Toro Rossos, 2nd and 3rd. A crazy result considering we've seen Mike on the pole for the past 2 races. Pingu out-qualifying Mike, really unexpected, and Wackinger taking that pole 0.05 of a second faster than Pingu in 2nd. Shy Guy taking up 4th from the Force India. Kreechman in 5th. Lands qualifying down in 6th, Shimek in 7th, and Doman in 8th position in the sister McLaren. Not a good result considering where his teammate qualified. Joining me in the commentary booth today is Sam Jones and Jonathan Holmes. How are you two?
I'm good, thanks.
Hello, and looking forward to the race.
So, let's not waste any time. We've only got highlights for you today, trying to cut time on Sliders TV so we can bring you all the races from both F1 Speed League and Skarts. So let's get the race coverage underway. So the lights are on in Valencia. The first ever race of the street circuit is about to be go! Wackinger gets a good start from the pole. Pingu comes through in 2nd. Kreechman trying to track Shy Guy for 4th position, and they go through the 2nd chicane, and Mike Knight has crashed, and there's a large airborne crash. Lands is trying to go around the outside of Shy Guy and swaps back to the inside. And he's going over the curbs there, but Mike Knight has crashed, the winner of the last 2 races. Already way down in the pack as Wackinger leads from Pingu, from Shy Guy. Lots of crashing again in the back. A mad start. And Wackinger has taken the lead from the pole position. And this is fantastic for the McLaren team that won so many races last year.
And what a great start there for Wackinger as he leads the field after what a completely messy start there. Everyone hitting those big UBS curves, just launching the car into the air and into the outside wall.
Yeah, those curbs are a little bit ridiculous when it comes to safety. I have to say most of the drivers will be hating the sponsor UBS after this race. Meanwhile, here's Shy Guy trying to attack Pingu for 2nd position, and an overtake from Mike Knight. Shimek now trying to go past Bolbanek, and that's a good pass, getting the run there onto the 2nd of the long straight and keeping it into the hairpin. All contact between Bolbanek and Shimek, but Shimek has had an awful start, you have to say. falling down the order. Meanwhile, Shy Guy going down the inside of Pingu for second position, and Shy Guy is going to take second position away. So move him up a spot. Lance now attacking Creechman for fifth position. They touch wheels side by side, and Lance has the inside for the hairpin. And he takes the position going into the corner. Fantastic race in there, touching wheels. And both managing to come out with their cars intact. So here's some replays then of the start. Wackinger getting a good one away. And Creechman got an exceptional start, really. Very short run down to turn 1. But turn 1's taken almost flat out from the start. You haven't built up speed yet. And this is what happened here. Look at Mike clipping that curb, launching into the air. And losing loads of time, and Shimek clips the second curb, and that's what loses him loads of time. He goes nearly over the top of Mike, and Doman piling in there, Arson in the Sauber, and Arjun also. So Shy Guy then sets a fastest lap, and here's Shimek trying to go past Arjun, and Shimek crashes. Shimek having an awful race so far. Meanwhile, here's Lance, he's going to go past Pingu for third place. Lance up into the podium positions from 6th on the grid. An excellent start from him so far. And there's contact between Doman and Creechman in the Red Bull, and Creechman goes flying over the nose of Doman. Meanwhile, here's Shy Guy now up into second.
Wackinger got a few fast laps at the start here, but Shy Guy's reeling him back in. He doesn't want him to get away before the first round of pit stops and possibly even make an overtake.
Yeah, he's got to set on the pressure. And meanwhile, Lance sets the fastest lap. So Lance really catches, and the front three are closing up early in this race. Meanwhile, here's Mike, who's trying to recover after that awful start. And ooh, he got so close to the wall there. Just literally inches away as Creechman stalks him in the Red Bull. Meanwhile, here's Shimek trying to recover back into a points-paying position, and he goes over the curb and loses the position again, and again over the curb.
Shimek's having a pretty disastrous race so far. He's hit the wall about 3 times now.
Yeah, he's spending more time in the air than he is on the ground, it would seem. And Shy Guy is close right back on the back of Wackinger for the lead of the GP Hispanii. He lets off a bit there into turn 1, perhaps not wanting to follow too close and make the same mistake he did in Bahrain following Shimek.
Lance sets another fastest lap again, and you can see him in the background now. He's closing up, so Shy Guy needs to get past Wackinger before Lance can make a challenge.
That's exactly it. Wackinger seems to be holding station at the moment though, and Lance is definitely catching up to this group.
But Wackinger's got good traction off the slow speed corners, so he's able to pull away down the straight before the next corner.
Yeah, that seems to be right. Quite hard to follow, especially in this first sector with all these flat out chicanes. And Lance makes a mistake there on the curb. He manages to keep it out the wall, but he makes a big mistake and he's lost a lot of ground there. Meanwhile, here we are on board with Doman trying to go around the outside of Pingu there for 4th position, and nothing doing, can't quite get around him. Doman had a good start from 8th position up to 5th already, and he seems to be getting on the curb a lot on turn entry, which is an interesting style, using a lot of the road. And there's Pingu's teammate Mike after his awful start, and Pingu's in the barrier. Meanwhile then, here's a replay of that incident earlier between Doman and Creechman, and look at Creechman going over the curb and going right over the nose of Doman. Here's a ultra slow motion. Look at that, and didn't look like Doman left him enough space, and right over the top of the car. Incredible.
Creechman clearly thinking that Red Bull gives you wings there, but clearly it doesn't.
Yeah, and there's another one who's got wings. Lance just keeping out the wall, smoke coming off the tyres over these massive curves. And here is a slow motion of Lance and Creechman touching wheels as they came off that corner. Great racing between the pair of them there. Meanwhile, here's the 2 Toro Rossos, and it looks like a bit of team orders there. Pingu perhaps letting Mike Knight pass after Pingu made that mistake earlier.
Mike Knight on his recovery drive, trying to make up the positions. The Wackinger's gone off here, and he's lost the lead to Shy Guy.
Yeah, he has. Shy Guy's been putting on the pressure, and Wackinger has made the mistake on the UBS curb, and Wackinger is the latest victim. Here's a replay then of how Shy Guy got the lead. Wackinger on turn entry here just turns in too tightly and clips the curb and into the barrier. Nothing he can do once he's off the ground, just at the entry to the bridge.
Wackinger nearly brought his swimming kit with him today. He nearly actually went into the water.
Yeah, could have ended up in the water by the bridge there. Lap 9 now, and Mike Knight in 5th position, trying to recover positions, and he's into the barrier again. Awful mistakes from Mike. We see him driving like a robot in the previous 2 races, got a perfect score of 50 points, and now so many mistakes, and Pingu immediately lets him backfire, playing a bit of a Felipe Massa there. And meanwhile, That was Lands going around Wockinger, so it looks like Wockinger made another mistake. And Wockinger, in just a few laps, is from the lead down to 3rd position, getting very close to the wall there.
I think Wockinger might have gone a bit wide, got on those outside yellow and black curves, and they really make you lose speed.